But let us go, boys, to the people's main event now. Another featherweight bout. And here we see Arkansas's finest Bryce Mitchell coming up against Brazil's Jean Silva. Bryce Mitchell is the number 13 ranked featherweight. In the division, he is 17-3-0, 9 by sub. Last time out, beating Kern Basie by KO. Coming up against Jean Silva, who is 15-2, 12 by KO, 2 by sub. Last time out, beating Melsik Bagdasarian by KO. And he's on quite a tear now in the featherweight division. So, yeah, people's main event. These two have been going back and forth. A lot of controversy wherever Bryce Mitchell goes. So, yeah, a lot of eyeballs drawn to this one. PG, how's it going to play out here, bro?
Yo, now this is a fight I'm excited for, just because of the antics, but also the kind of fighters that the two athletes are. They're very exciting fighters. Stylistically, it makes for a matchup where either one can finish each other. You know that Bryce Mitchell is one of the most dangerous guys in the feather division when it comes to jiu-jitsu, when it comes to grappling. He's quite scary, and also he's tall. He's tall for featherweight. I mean, he's entering that Max Holloway kind of height for that division. Jean Silva on the other hand, example, is powerful, very exciting. Goes in there and he really wins the fans over with all the antics in terms of his emotion, but also because of how he fights. The dude is a absolute killer. Very good in terms of how he's able to navigate his opponents to his position. Because remember, he's not the tallest guy, right? And a lot of the featherweights that he's fighting are generally taller than him, so he finds a way to almost move them into his hypnotism. He hypnotizes athletes. We just watch a fight against Bagdasarian. If you watch that fight, you will see that Baghdad wasn't really how do I say what's what I'm looking for. He wasn't just a dummy. He was actually trying to fight the fight. He was trying to utilize some kicks. He was trying to fight John back, but John was walking him in a way that made Baghdadian almost react to weird stuff. He was acting to feints and eventually just led him into that right hand. And John Silva is very, very scared to fight. However, he has fought in the UFC. He has been taken down. He has been controlled before. We have seen him not look the greatest when he's been taken down. Okay, he wins the fights regardless, but he does struggle when the athlete is able to take him down. He has to fight back. And then I think Bryce Mitchell is going to have to be very, very careful in the beginning of the fight, especially when the round starts, because obviously they're going to be standing. He's going to have to be very careful. Bryce can strike, but not on the same level as John can strike, especially because of that fighting nerds crew. They're probably going to game plan this fight to the point where they're going to see Jean Silva utilize calf kicks. Probably going to see him take out the legs of Bryce Mitchell so that he can't really explode to takedowns. We're going to see him game plan that will basically lead up Jean Silva to his to get that knockout finish. But he's going to have to be careful because Bryce Mitchell might just walk him down immediately and into that void very quickly. Maybe throw an elbow, then shoot for a takedown, and then we can see the game in Bryce Mitchell's sort of domain. But all that being said, we have to see how it all plays out. You know what I mean? This is all just based on on the fighter styles. I don't know how it's all going to go down. This fight on the fight card is hard for me to actually predict because yeah, I just don't know what's going to happen here. But what I do know, it's going to be very exciting just because of how the two fighters have been selling the fight since they've made the announcement, and also because they both are good finishers in the division. Let's see what happens here. If I must give you a slight pick, I'm obviously going to go with Jean Silva here. I think he's the more dangerous athlete. And I do think that the fight starts on the feet always, and that gives Jean Silva a bit of an advantage there. But I wouldn't be surprised if Bryce goes in there and then naked chokes him.
I think Bryce has got a lot of kind of wind in his sails here coming into this one, bro. Like he's
Yeah,
got a lot of
yeah.
people that he's trying to prove wrong, and he's got like a big chip on his shoulder here. So yeah, a lot of fire in Bryce's belly here.
Yeah.
Babu, do you share BG sentiments in terms of Jayan Silva getting the job done here, or is it gonna be thug jitsu for the win here, bro?
Whatever, this man's gonna get the job done. It's gonna be an easy night at the office. I'm telling you, I'm calling this. Fighting nerds are just different. Um, Chum of the year last year for a reason. Like I know Thug Thug Nasty is like a lovely jiu-jitsu game. But
Mm,
Damien Meyer is in the fighting nerds camp. You're not gonna get like an easy layup, armbar, guillotine, rear naked. They're gonna make you work for it. Like
mm.
most of them are stand-up fighters, and like
Yes.
they just like they fights don't the whoever the opponent is. they might have a good ground game, but you can't come close to them because when you do, they have different power. And he's Jean Silva. He's one of the guys that really catapulted himself like beyond because he's getting the job done quick and easy. I think it's 2 rounds all around that if he touches you, you feel the power, you try to back up, and that's when he smells blood and gets the job done. And I just like PG said, they so smart at game planning and they such a team that everybody chips in, gives you a different look, gives you a different game plan. They have plan A, plan B, plan C, and they know how to get the job done. I think John Silver goes in there, gets the job done, light work. I don't think um I don't think Bryce Mitchell is gonna give him too much trouble. He deserves to be in the rankings. And after this fight, he will be in the rankings. And then I'm gonna start seeing title challenging
Yeah.
songs here because he has the skill set. He have the skill set.
Sure.
So you're part of the fighting nerds, Babu.
Yeah, brother. We got the glasses on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The
Bryce
fighting
Mitchell is starting as a 3-1 underdog here, which is a very interesting
Ooh.
line, I think. I don't think it's going to be as clear cut as that. Not
Yeah.
sure if Jayan's takedown defense has been thoroughly tested as yet.
Mm.
And I think it will be in this fight. So I think that's what it's going to come down to. Yeah, but I think when Bryce Mitchell puts that thug jitsu on you, bro, you start thinking a little bit differently, bro. So I'm gonna go for
Yeah.
Bryce Mitchell here, to be honest. I think he's very good value at 3-1. But more about that on the parlay show tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Subscribe to the channel, drop a like on the video. BG, give us some final thoughts here, and then we'll keep it moving,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah, final thoughts is that's a very key point about Babu made that the fighting nerds guys aren't generally wrestlers or grapplers. They're all primarily strikers, and we haven't really seen them being tested in terms of the grappling department. And I'm keen to see that because that's also what Kenny Flodin said. He said we haven't seen John Silva on his back. Charles Jourdain took him down. Charles Jourdain's not a wrestler; he's a striker as well. So let's see what, and he held him down for a full round, by the way. So let's see what happens when a higher pedigree of a grappler like Bryce Mitchell takes down John Silva. Let's see what he does from his back or what he does from that position. Very excited.
What happened to Charles to Jane? How did that fight end, PG?
Yes, I know. As I said earlier, he got taken down and he did win that fight. I did say that. But Charles Jourdain, I can take Charles Jourdain down and put him in a fucking armbar, bro.
Yo, Charles.
Bryce Mitchell is different, and he's almost basically 6 foot. He's 5'11". I would say he's basically 6 foot. You know what I mean? It's a different ball game, different kind of wrestling.
Yeah, so as you can see, really getting the gums flapping here, ladies and gentlemen. Lots to discuss here with this one. And yeah, super excited. Like I said, I think this is the people's main event. So yeah, super hyped for that one.